रूफी भाई गो। आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही रूफी भाई।
Assalamu alaikum. This is Rufi Shazada from Margla Trail Runners, and today is a very special day. We have Megan Eckert with us, the great women ultra runner. Before starting with her, we are Margla Trail Runners, and we are a community of trail and ultra runners based in Islamabad, Pakistan. And we are an inclusive trail running club. We have annual events, and now this is the time of the year that we are heading towards backyard ultra, that is on November 29, 2025. So we will wrap up our year with this race, and just to have some words and to discuss achievements and strategies, we have Megan Eckert all the way from the United States. She is the world record championship holder of uh, in women in 2024. She did 88 loops and 366 miles, and followed by 92 loops this year, 2025. She is a superwoman. So I would like to welcome her on board, and we are live with her. So just bear with us, and if you have any question, you can always ask on any platform. So hello and good morning, Megan. How are you?
Hello, good morning. I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me on this morning.
So uh, let's start our session. We have so many people who are watching you right now. So before starting, you can introduce. I have tried to introduce you with all the people who are live. So I would like you to say a few words about yourself. How did you start running, and about this backyard ultra and everything, whatever it. Now it's your time to speak. We are all waiting.
Well, thank you for the wonderful introduction. Um, I started running. It wasn't until I was an adult that I started running. I was not a childhood runner. Um, when I was younger, I was more focused on other sports. And in my late 20s, I decided to pick up running with a little influence from a friend. And I ran my first half marathon, and it was cold and it was raining. The weather conditions were just brutal. Kind of like a backyard, it can definitely happen. But I remember finishing that race and feeling something incredible. It was just amazing in my mind to be able to run a half marathon and be able to finish it. And I was hooked. Like immediately after finishing, I wanted to do another race. I wanted to see if I could do a half marathon a little bit faster, a little bit better than I did the first time. And so I think for me, that has kind of propelled my running journey because it's always been, can I do it a little bit better the next time?
So the main question arises: what was your strategy of training and strategy? What was your strategy? How can you last such longer? Because sleep can overpower anything. It's beyond. Sometimes it's beyond your control. So uh, give us some tips about how to become a superhuman.
um, so I One of the things that I think is definitely my superpower, and it's not exactly easy to do depending on your time constraints. But I end up with 2 or 3 runs in a day, and they're not all super long. I'm not out there for hours and hours and hours, but I run in the morning, I run in the afternoon, and usually run in the evening also. So I'm getting 2 or 3 runs a day, and sometimes I wake up, my legs are tired from the day before, and I still go on. I still go on a 3 mile run to work in the morning. I think the time on the feet, the continuously just getting up. And doing it even sometimes when I'm not feeling it really makes a big difference.
And And what about the nutrition and the intake of food? What was your strategy? How to survive long, right from the start when you open up with the race and then you complete it like 4, 5, 3, 4 days, whatever it is. So how did you like started, and what was your core food of survival? Whether you were on liquids, whether you were on the solids, or there were some magical foods out there. So that's what we're looking for.
Nutrition has been, for me historically, has been kind of an up and down process. Um, I'll have a race. Nutrition will be great. I'll be feeling wonderful, and then the next race, I put the same foods in the bucket, right, to eat, and it just doesn't turn out as well. That's probably one of my biggest struggles in ultra running has been figuring out what nutrition works. And over the past year, I've worked with a wonderful nutritionist here in the States, Dina Griffin. She's been working with me to figure out what nutrition I need to be taking in and what works well with my body. And so it's been a process. It's been over a year of trying this electrolyte out, trying this gel out, trying this chew out. And what I found over the course of the year is that for me, I have to have a very specific electrolyte drink. I'm personally a big fan of Scratch. And then in a backyard, I'll be eating chews, actually, just running chews every hour when I come in, about 60 grams of carbs. And then I'm looking at actually sticking, surprisingly, to the larger meals. So in the morning, I'll have something that's breakfast like. I might have eggs. Um, I might have, oh, I can't even remember everything they made for me because we did eggs and I believe we did they had bacon, that's what it was. And then for lunch, I'll be having a sandwich, a turkey or grilled cheese sandwich. Dinner, I'm having pasta. And then normally it's whatever at midnight. So I'm actually sticking to a normal eating schedule as much as possible. The only difference is every single hour I'm having some snacks in between, whether it be a chew. Usually I really, really stick to those. But I also have the typical potato chips and candy and pickles and those sort of things.
Um, Thank you. That was awesome. Like you should consume chews and whatever. If somebody likes something, that person can consume anything. And the main question, like everybody wants to ask, is there any a sweet spot? Is there any a sweet timing of completing each lap? Like 40 minutes, 35 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes. What do you suggest, and how to carry on with the strategy, whether we should start with the negative splits, or we should be remain consistent, or there is some sort of special strategy. So just put something about it.
Um, so the one thing, if you had asked me that last year, I would have just spilled out my strategy. I come in 53 to 55 minutes during the day. At night, I'm coming in around 50 and I'm getting some sleep. However, after going to Big's individuals this year, um, it was very interesting to watch um, everybody's unique strategy. So you had some runners, everybody pretty much started out slower. That was pretty much default. The first few yards, everybody had a slower pace. It wasn't a real fast start at all. But then as time went on, you would see those runners who would come in quicker in the 40s. They were going far. You would see runners who would come in in the mid 50s and they were making it far. So I'm not sure if there is an exact sweet spot. It seemed to be very individual. I think a safe time, if this is your first backyard, would be coming in, depending on the course, between 50 and 55 minutes during the day, and at night, maybe a little faster to get sleep. But I do think that 50 to 55 minutes is a nice sweet spot where you're not pushing yourself too much, but also giving yourself enough time and camp to get done what you need to.
So it's been 5 editions. We are searching for one thing: how to take those small power naps, because it's so difficult. Because we tried, each and every runner who tried to survive the night, the only because I tried myself, I was unable to grab a single minute. So is there any strategy how to take power naps? Because you have less time. Like for example, if I'm coming in 45 minutes and I want to take a power nap of 5 or 7 minutes, is it possible, or is there any strategy? Would you like to discuss?
Um, yeah, I know for me, one of the things that I have worked on is queuing my nap. So I have an eye mask that I wear when I come into camp to sleep. But I've practiced that actually in my everyday life. So it's one of those things when I put the eye mask on, if I'm going to um, take a nap in the afternoon, which I'm not a big napper, or I'm traveling, or even closer to bigs, like if I'm going to sleep at night, I'll put the eye mask on. So it almost conditions your body to know, if I put this on, I'm going to go to sleep. And I know your race is coming up soon. It's like within the month. So I'm not sure how much conditioning you could do to the mind in that time for sleep, but a little bit would definitely be helpful, just to say, okay, and it doesn't have to be an eye mask. When I have headphones on, that's when I'm going to go to sleep. Or if I have whatever it may be, I eat this and I go to sleep. It's very much mental conditioning. um, I know that some races I've done really well with sleep. I've come in and been able to sleep on day one during the day, been fine, get a few minutes and get back out there. This race in particular, I think part of it had to do with the storms coming in. We had really bad weather on the first night. And then just the excitement of it being bigs individuals, I was not able to get any sleep until about 40 or 42 hours in. So I struggled with it this time. Usually it's not as big of an issue.
And so nice of you. So there are so many things that we have learned today. And one thing, another core question, what is the significance of your crew? What is there any ideal number? Because I have we have learned so far that crew is sometimes more important than the runner. So, is there any ideal number? How many crew members are ideal if somebody wants to survive like more than 100 loops? So, share something about your crew, share something about your experience, because once we started learning things to be a superhuman here, maybe we'll see another the race for 4 5 days here in Pakistan as well.
Crew is essential. I mean, crew, if they hold it all together. Honestly, when you get later in the race, your mind thinks it's clear, but it might not be as clear as you perceive it to be. And crew, I've found they do the thinking for me. I get to run. They come in, and I can't tell you the number of times my crew, who's my husband. My husband's normally my primary crew, and then we were able to rotate crew at big. So I had a friend who came in the night, because we were only actually allowed one crew member at a time. So my husband was during the day. my friend was at night, and they just knew exactly what I needed. So they would make a sandwich, and I would come in after I just told them, no, I don't want anything. I'm fine. I'm going to eat a chew and go back out. And they would have the sandwich for me, and they'd be, hey, you want to eat this? And it would be, yes, of course. Or, hey, let's change your shoes and socks. It's wet. Like, we got to get these off before you blister. And so they were really good, just about being there, supporting, cheering, having things ready to go. I do think like individuals is so packed. You have 45 runners um, in this small little backyard, or I'm sorry, 75 runners. My apologies, 75 runners in the small little backyard, and all of their crew, and everybody's only allowed one crew member. Um, at Worlds in 2024, since there was only 15 on the U.S. team, we were allowed two crew members. And honestly, I found, and I think they did too, that the two crew members, having two people there, having two personalities, having time for them to sleep, um, and then just the aspect of the community. Having two crew members, I think, was a lot easier on crew, and it was also easier on the runner. So for me, I would say having two, if you're able to, especially if you want to go further, is more ideal.
And one thing more, I we want to ask you: what are your five essentials for a backyard ultra race? Like those five only. If you have to select only five equipments during your race, what would that be?
Um, so those first things first, the gravity chairs, the ones that you can lean back in, that kick your feet up, even if you're not sleeping um, in them, just to be able to, in the middle of the day, get your feet up, get off your feet. It's amazing how relaxing those things are. Those are definitely essential. Um, if we're not naming people, of course, crew would be most important. I go through a lot of shoes, right? Especially
Shoes.
with the weather conditions. And I don't know how your course is, if it transitions from like a road to trail. But in Bigs, when you have the day loop, it's rocky, it's leaf covered, it's so you want something with a bit more grip, and especially when it got wet, we wanted something that you weren't going to slide out on. But then when you go to the road, you're going to want that nice kind of cushioned soft feel through the night, and especially since we ended up doing, oh gosh, 36 hours continuous on the road, we were all in our nice cushioned shoes by the end of it, just because of the constant pounding. So shoes are definitely important. Plus, you never know what the weather conditions could be out there, and if you're going to have to change shoes. Um, I like having a small little heater with me for these colder backyards. Not for me personally, but you want your crew to be in good spirits. So bringing a heater so the crew can stay warm while you're out there running. I don't like the temperature change, but they're standing there for 50, 55 minutes out of the hour while you're out there running. So I think their comfort is definitely something I consider. Um, Cooler is a necessity. If it's hot, you want ice. So I guess the ice is the essential part of the cooler. Um, and then of course all your favorite treats, right? Whatever you want to bring nutritionally, whatever will keep you going. I think those five things would be most important.
Well, you have wrapped up everything, like the core questions, but we have all our team members listening to you. So I would ask them if they want to add something, or they want to type, they want to ask you directly. So please go ahead.
Hi, Megan, Javed here.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you, Jarrett?
Thank you so much for joining the session. It's amazing. So I have a few questions. So, how you cope with the kind of a night and day loop? Because we were watching live the Big Beckett Ultra, so few of the runners was doing much in slower pace in daytime, like the Phil and other runners were doing more than 50 minutes, and the few runners like John Knoll and the other runners, and also you can share with us your experience that in a daytime and nighttime loops, yes. So you were finishing the much earlier time, the nighttime loops to taking a nap, and daytime you have to be more easier loops and slow times.
So on this particular course, it's very hard to get a faster day loop anyways. The trail's pretty technical, it's pretty narrow, and you're just not going to bank a lot of time on it without kind of wrecking yourself in a way. So a lot of the runners do take the day loops a lot slower. Plus, with it being much more difficult to sleep for most people during the day, it's not worth pushing. If I was able to get sleep during the day, I might have pushed like a minute faster through the day loops, or maybe two. But without getting sleep, there's not really much I found that I needed during the day. It was you come in, you put your feet up, you eat, you drink something, and the next thing you know, the bells are ringing and you're getting, or the whistle's blowing in this case, and you're getting back in the corral. So in the day loops, there's less, you're more aware, you're more awake, there's less you need that I've found. And so most people in general, their average time on those day loops was slower. Less time on less time off course means you're moving continuously, and your muscles don't have a chance to tighten up. And the night loops, it benefits you. I've found to go a little bit faster to get that sleep. It's much easier for the body to go to sleep at night, and honestly, I think, like for me, there were some that were quicker just so I could stay awake. Um, when you move at a constant pace the whole time in a night loop, um, for the whole night, because it's 13 hours, I found that I would fall asleep actually on the course. There was also more to do at night, in the sense of you wanted sleep, but then maybe you needed to add a layer. I know I added a puffy on the last night I was out there. It got much colder. Maybe you needed to add, I don't know, find gloves or find a beanie or whatnot. So there's more little things that you might have to do on the night loop. Day loops, I feel like, are kind of, they take off. They're exactly the same.
Can you hear me, Megan? It's Rufi here again.
Yes.
There are few questions from our viewers, so you can read it or I'll read it for you. Uh, there is someone called On Nugget. Give us some advice for beginners specific about weight training and also diet. I think you have already covered. I don't know what about weight training. If you can say something about weight training, should you incorporate while you are a ultra runner?
I am a big proponent for weight training. I think ideally, now during the fall season, I will say I do not get this done because I'm also a coach at a local high school, but ideally, 3 to 4 days a week, 30 to 45 minutes for an ultra runner, it is perfect for strength training, doing a lot of endurance training with weights, and not just body weight. I mean, I put weights on the bar. I think strength is essential. If you're doing a backyard, there's going to be muscular breakdown. If you're doing any long distance running, you're going to have some breakdown. And so the strength endurance just allows you to last longer. And as a
We
beginner
have another
runner, oh yeah.
we have another question from Uzma Khan. So she's, yeah, also runner. So she asking that what the aspects of first time participants who should prepare for. Those who are first time doing Baker Ultra, especially beginners or those who are medium kind of runners, what they to prepare, what kind of a preparation they do to go for kind of a as much as loops.
So I've over time kind of built up. I got into um, distance running initially with a 55-hour that I slept a lot through. Took a lot of night naps and like long naps, and kind of have built up to these longer distances. I don't think so. The body reacts over time. I don't think this is anything I could have done um, initially. I didn't have the strength or the endurance to go that far. But over time, the body has continued. When I do these long distance, it adapts to the impact and the time and the force, and so um, it's just been a
So what
building
what you
process, a patience.
suggest, what you suggest here in Pakistan's kind of, especially female runners, those who are doing first time, they started newly started running. So you will encourage them like a baker tries kind of a format, kind of you have to run and walk and run complete the loop in an hour. So you have to. What you would you say about female runners here in Pakistan? The basic question is they are asking the female runners. So that means first time participants here. So what they do pitch and for kind of a couple of loops like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. Obviously, it's kind of a five is much more kind of a tougher if it's for the first time, especially in here in female in Pakistan.
Right, right. And as so a backyard, I mean, the great thing is it does eventually equal out. I think male and female can go equally as far, and only time will show that. But when you're starting out and it's your first backyard, um, set a goal that's personal for you. I've been at races where people have set, they want to do 5 yards, and so they really focus on just making it in each time. And so the great thing is yes, you can do if you're out there, make sure you're having fun, right? You can do a yard, and you can do it with a faster group, or you can do it with the middle group, or you can do it at the back of the pack, and you can meet people while you're out there and meet people with common goals. My very first backyard, I teamed up with a young lady who was going for her first 100K, which I believe, I'm not sure exactly how many yards that is. 16 maybe. But she and I ran most of the first day together, other than maybe the first 3 or 4 yards. And we just chatted the whole time. And we walked the hills. Anything that's too steep, you're walking. Um, and shuffled when we needed to. We had our points that we had on the course that we wanted to get to by a certain time to ensure that we made the loop. So we had like little checkpoints, like at um 3K or at 5K. This is what time we need to be there in the hour, and we really just chatted up for about 16 hours. So I encourage, if you're new to backyard, set your own personal goal, find a friend out there, walk when you have to, run if you can, like, um, and just have a good time.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Meg.
We have our team members, Waqas, Sheikh, and Waqar. Waqar and Waqas, you can,
Thank
uh,
you,
yes,
Javed.
you can.
Thank you, Javed. Thank you, Rufi. Hi, Megan. This is Wakar. I'm the fellow MTR runner
Hello,
from
Walker.
Islamabad. It's a question just for the from the perspective of how we can improve this backyard ultra sports. So, um, what if I mean if my question is from what community thinks for the rules. Um, what if we bring in our break after 24-hour session or after 24 yards you complete. So then you can, there is a bonus point for you for 1 hour you can sleep. Well, certainly I think this can help you to go beyond 100, go beyond 150. If something like this comes up, this will help to improve endurance. What is your take if something like comes up?
Um, so yeah, I mean, 24 hours, a lot of people are doing the 24-hour, where you can register for the backyard itself for as long as you want to go, or you can just register for the 24-hour as your first event. But as for like having a break, yes, that would be nice. However, and it would allow you to go further. However, in the backyard rules, in the way a backyard is run, you have to start every hour at the top of the hour. So it wouldn't be an official backyard if you gave the option for an hour break.
Well, rules can be changed if we can put to laws. This is something like we can talk about it, and certainly things can improve. So this is just a point which I want to, discuss in the community. If we can bring something like that, certainly this can help. Sleep is something, you cannot cope up for a long time, and this is a hindrance, uh, going beyond 92 or beyond 100 or beyond 112.
Well, sleep management is definitely part of the challenge of a backyard. It's part of the puzzle. So when you're looking at how far you can go, adding in an extra hour, yeah, I mean it would get you to go further, but that would take away that part of the challenge of the race. Because like for me physically at Bigs, I was still ready to run. I still had yards left in me. Physically I felt fine. I had zero aches and pains. Have actually had some extremely strong runs even after leaving Bigs, had zero recovery time. But the sleep deprivation is what took me out, because I wasn't able to manage it well early on, and getting sleep so late did prevent my mind from staying sharp enough to go further. So it's part of the puzzle and it's part of the challenge. It's something that I will have to work on, if I want to go beyond 92 in the future, which I do. I will have to readdress my sleep strategy and go back to the drawing board. So I think, while um, while the idea of getting extra sleep would be nice, it would take away part of the challenge of the race.
Okay, got it. One thing I want to know from that experience of running those 92 hours consecutively, at what point the fatigue element comes to you? I know it is individually different from each individual, but during your this competition, at what point you start, feeling the fatigue, and then your mind comes up, and you start fighting with it. So in any competition or any race, there is a time where where your mind says, leave it, you are done, and then you overcome that feeling, and then you get again, you position yourself to start your run again. So do you have any experience like that in during the race or the competition?
I do. For me, the second night is definitely the toughest. Usually, um, I usually am able to bounce back and have a nice third night and fourth night. Or going into the fourth night, I've never actually completed all the way through. Um, I did find that this time, I was battling the nights from night two, and I'm not sure if that was the number of hours we spent on the road in the beginning of the race, if it was the lack of sleep in camp. But it for me, on the trail, the day loops, I was fine. I got to day loops, I was having a blast out there. Like I really enjoy the trail loops a lot. they're they're challenging. There's a lot of up and down and around and everything. And then you get to the night loops and they're very monotonous. And for me this year, the night loops, I really was battling it for every single yard out there.
Yeah, I understand. It's a battle. Every hour is in a battle. Every minute is a battle.
Right.
So, thank
And
you.
that's definitely one thing, as a like in a backyard, whether you're going for 5 yards or if you're going for 80, 90, 100 yards. That I've learned is you just have to focus on that 1 yard you're in and getting back out there. Because surprisingly, like you get back in the corral, you start that next yard, and you continue to do that, and the next thing you know, it's morning again, and you're switching terrains, or the sun's setting, so you're getting to now go to the night and get a little bit of sleep. And so the hours tick by extremely quickly. When you're on the yard, not always so much, but just getting back into the corral, it's amazing how quick like 12 hours goes out there. Or even the first five, you're going, oh my gosh, I'm 5 hours in already, because you just keep getting back out there.
Megan, we have a question from the audience. So, what's your mantra for more? Umar Khalid has asked the question. He is also a good runner. So, what's your mantra for motivation during your down moments? When you are down during the ultras. How do you keep it?
So that kind of changes each time, depending on how the race and how I'm feeling and so on. For bigs, this year, my mantra was it's you against you. So I'm not racing anybody else. I'm only racing myself. I'm only racing what I'm personally capable of. And so I really focus on really it's just you against you. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing out there. And that is one that continuously kind of circles back and comes into other races that I do too, including trail races, ultra races, road races. It's you against you. It always is. You can't control outside forces, but you can control how you react
So
and
there
your
were
own
four.
personal run.
Yeah, there were four females in the bigs. So you and Sarah was, and I think was one was the Russo, another was from Hungary. So
Eat it. Mhm.
last time, so you were the last time you were the champion. This time, Sarah. So what was your feeling that you and last both of you, Sarah and you, crossed the 87 loops to the 88 and think life that when you came couldn't complete the 93 loops, you were weeping that you were a bit upset. So what's your feeling that as female runner with you then, so Sarah from 59 to she went to the 95, that's an amazing PB.
Sarah had an amazing race out there, an amazing personal best, very, very, very talented athlete, very, very sweet individual. Um, for me, it was more like I just said, it's you against you. And for me, it was the frustration of finishing at 92 and being physically able to do another yard, but mentally not being able to continue. Didn't even I ran a whole mile and didn't remember the mile. So I at that point I was done. And so huge congratulations to Sarah on now holding the women's best. I really hope we get to run again soon because we really spent some time together out there and had a good time.
So when it's kind of a like 1 or 2 days is our very good time to you can run, but you are entering to third night, fourth night. So what's your feeling that time? Because especially night time, you are running for 3 days, 4 days. Do you, especially you had kind of a same kind of experience with other runners too, those who were running fourth day or third night. So, do you guys remember things? That means you guys are running on the right route, because it's something that means you can go anywhere, anytime, because it's kind of, if you are running on both night, especially, you remember things.
Um, I was more aware 2 years ago of what was going on the fourth night than I was honestly this time. Um, I I was not I did not remember much from the fourth night this time out there. Third night I was still pretty aware, but this was definitely not my strongest third night. But I was definitely more aware, definitely shared more conversation with people. Apparently I talk way too much in the backyard, so I got to work on that. But I was much more aware on the third night. The fourth night, absolutely not.
We have our team members. Vakas Sheikh has kind of wanted to ask a very good question. Vakas, you have a question. Vakas,
Yes,
can you hear
hi.
us?
Hi, Megan.
Hi.
How are
Hello.
you?
I'm good. How are
Super inspiring, Megan. Super. I mean, the things that you do is just brilliant. And as I mean, Javed and Rufi and everyone has also pointed out, running in Pakistan is a bit of a new sport, and we are getting used to it. I wanted to talk about, I mean, just to understand, because there is obviously more than just running in everyone's life. And obviously, what we do in our everyday life feeds into our running, and then the physiological and the mental changes that you see during such extreme running events that you do feed back as a loop, which feeds back into your life, obviously. And I wanted to just understand and unpack if you've seen, if you've noticed changes by running at such extreme, levels, and that has fed into things that you do in your normal everyday life, into your work, into your just mental outlook on life. What, if any, changes have you seen?
Well, I think running, what I found is like even early on in running, I found so many parallels um, to my daily life. Um, I learned really how to persevere, through things that might be a little tougher. I learned how to problem solve better. There's something about a run. You're out there, you have some problem going on at work or some problem going on in your personal life, and there's no distractions out on a run. And I would find even early on that, oh, that problem solved. I could do this, that, and the other thing. Um, and as I've like progressed and I've done these longer distances, what I realized is how many times, especially when I was younger, I was afraid to do something and I thought I would fail. I thought I couldn't do it. And then now there's so many things that were on that couldn't list in running that it's kind of pushed me to challenge those things that I thought I couldn't do in life, and kind of test my own personal limits there. This year, trying out a new position. I'm a teacher, but I'm teaching a whole new subject, something I would be absolutely terrified to do years ago because I was so comfortable where I was at. So running has definitely taught me to push my limits, and try new things.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that because I was reading up research recently about how, especially in the corporate culture, there is now a growing understanding of how distance runners bring in this exact word that you said, perseverance, into their everyday work habits, and that for a lot of the companies is obviously a good thing to have. So
Yeah.
yes, very, very, very true.
Yes. And it's funny because it happens almost by default. Like it's not something you try to do, it just happens over time.
Precisely. Thank you, Megan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we have one more question from Muhammad. So he wanted to ask that I wanted to ask question. What's the point you far to motivating completing 600 miles in 6 days? So you have done 600 miles. You ran 6 days. What was
Yes.
the motivating
So
point to you to run a 600 miles?
um you know, a few years back I met a friend who planted the 6-day bug in my head of you should try a 6-day race. And honestly, I couldn't get it out of my head. And I was thinking, well, if I'm going to go for it, like I really want to go for it. I want to be the first female to 600. Why? I don't know. Um, I just I wanted to achieve that distance, and I thought females could. Um, so yeah, 6 days. Honestly, I thought when I would hit 600 that I would be done. Also, I'm not. I love the 6-day distance. There's something about it for me that is really really enjoyable. It is my ideal race in many ways. And so I'm not done with it, but I honestly I cannot answer that. I want it to go 600 miles in 6 days. It just sounded like a nice number.
So, what will be you will share with us kind of one thing interesting kind of incident story in Big Beggar Ultra. So you were running 4 days, other runners with you. So can you share with us kind of interesting story during the run?
Um, oh gosh, yes. There were so many interesting stories. Because throughout a backyard, right, you continue to change your pace, so you're running with the different runners. And night one before the storm, we had quite a few runners from Team USA who were out on course. There was, I think, 8 of us. Um, and most still went into the first night. And ironically, we were all just, most of us were running the same pace as the first night. So we were chatting up worlds, chatting up life things, just kind of catching up on the year. And that was quite a bit of fun. Um, early on when you're still fresh, the mind's still going properly. And then as we went into the later hours, later yards, um, things definitely changed. Like going out on the night loop, and one time I stopped at the stop sign, and this was way later in the race. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the stop line in this road wise, and I've done this already. I don't even know how many times. It must have been 48 times or something. I had already been out on this night yard quite a few times. I'm looking at the stop sign and I'm going, is that a stop sign? Now, which way am I supposed to go? Do I have to stop at the stop sign? Um, and actually was another runner who came up behind me and said, "Hey, you go right." And so I knew which way to head back. Um, but there's always something out there. I didn't have a ton of hallucinations. Just was very very tired. Um, the day loop was honestly my favorite because you got in this line following each other on this single track beautiful trail and just wove through the woods, and the way the sun rose reflected kind of this rose gold color off of the leaves and off of the rocks because they're all changing for fall here. And um, yeah, and just soaking in all the moments.
So we have coming Margala Baker Ultra on 29th of November here in Pakistan. It's kind of a fifth edition we are doing. This is the only Baker Ultra, and we have done also two championships. And we have the national record of 50 loops by Jamal said. And also in Margala Baker Ultra, it's kind of a 35 loops by Firat Khattab. So Especially, what would you recommend? What do you suggest? What is motivating for the female runners here in Pakistan? Because here in Pakistan, only the Christina did. She's from Austria. She has done only 24 loops, and also Homera. She has done 21 loops, and others was the Anya and Inab has done 15 loops. So, what would you recommend or motivating for them to? They have to do more loops, or even they can join for the. Uh, Christina is joining with us. Hello,
You know,
Christina.
I hello, Christina.
Christina is with us. Christina, you wanna ask a questions from Megan? You can continue. You can Megan. So
Yeah, I mean, I will say, um, you know, don't focus on the yards, the total yardage. Like, just get back in the crowd. Just go one more. Just take those first steps. It always gets easier after you take the first steps out of the corral, and if it doesn't, then that was meant to be your final yard. um, but yeah, just keep getting back out there for as long as you possibly can, because women, I know women, we can go far in the backyard. I personally think that we could be up there at the end. We can win it overall. um, Yeah, I would love to see the females out there in Pakistan improve their yardage and just show what women can do.
So, Christina, unfortunately, not due to the audio problem. So she's say to hi to you, and she's very happy because she has done 24 loops in back in 2023. So, you did the 92 loops, and Sarah did 95. That was the Sarah because just she was very upset that she wanted to do 100 because it's kind of a wanted to make a century. So, what's your thoughts that you were just 4 to 7 loops behind the 100 mile, 100 yards?
So I know Sarah and I, we both had the same goal. We both wanted to beat 100 yards. Um, and I know she was vocal about it too, that she wanted to get there. That's still the goal. I mean, you don't, you fail a little, like you fail once, but you only really fail if you give up. Um, so I'll go back. I'll do another backyard. And I'm aiming for that 100 yards. I know I can do it. That's definitely the ultimate goal, or to win overall.
Obviously, it's kind of a the earlier Russo was the world champion. Then later you become the world champion. Now it's Sarah. Obviously, hopefully we see that next time will be the female runners break the barrier of 100 yards. That will be amazing. Even we were thought that the Phil, Harvey, and other will they will cross the 119 yards, but they couldn't. So hopefully, in kind of even in the national championship and other kind of opportunities, even in the Belgium, the guys, Megan, they are so strong. Even what was the? Can you say that what become to Evo? She was kind of he has the pain in his kind of he was not look like good after in last couple of loops.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what happened. At that point, I was catching up on sleep, and I was hoping to come back in the morning and they would still be running, but I'm not sure what happened the last couple yards.
Okay, so Christina has asked a questions. I would like to. She was would like to know that what do you about do recovery during your training and also after a race like Becker Ultra? How do you plan your recovery?
Oh, great question. Christina, really good question. Recovery prior to racing, like while training and so on, is just a matter for me of getting enough sleep. I don't know if they have it in Pakistan, but there's a TENS unit called Firefly that I use on my legs to kind of help with circulation. And then one of the things post race, other than sleep and eating all the good food, that I personally really enjoy is sleep deprivation tanks. They're basically float tanks filled with Epsom salt, and quite a bit of Epsom salt, and you just go lay down in them. They're completely blacked out for about 60 minutes, and you float. And for me, it seems to reset my circadian rhythm. And of course, we all know the benefits of Epsom salt and muscle recovery. So, a combo of those things, usually after doing that, I feel so much better, and just the muscles feel refreshed, the mind, especially. Because sleep is, I still have bags under my eyes from Bigs, honestly, because I've just been diving right back into work. Sleep is probably the hardest thing to bounce back from.
That's great. Rufi, over to you.
So
You wanted to ask it.
we have almost covered everything, and there is one tradition of Margla trail runners. Whenever we invite somebody, we actually invite that person to our race as well. So whenever you're ready, we have an invitation for you to come someday in 2025, 26, 27. Just mark your calendar, and we want you here in Pakistan. Run with us. We have a huge community, especially female would love to have you. And definitely, there is no male member that we have known here who can compete with you as of now. Maybe some other day, but definitely you are for everyone, and you are for all the runners, especially the ultra runners. So, and in past couple of days, I have studied a lot about you. And after Harvey, I've seen you that you are also a teacher. You also go for run commute every day. So it's so nice. Like this sort of lifestyle is actually very good. So this is all we want to wrap up, and almost we have you have answered all our questions. So thank you very much for your precious time, and you woke
Thank
up early for us. That was the thing, because it was early morning in the United States. So we are signing off, and thank you very much. And if you want
One
to add,
last
yeah,
thank
thing. Christina is asking that join us. Pakistan is incredible, and you can love it. You will enjoy the running here. We have the mighty mountains, trail running is kind of ultra running, and she also said that you can read it. She has comments in the chat box too, so you can reply your her question too in chat box. Yes.
you.
come in us.
I would
Pakistan is
love
incredible.
to.
That's what to say, and I think she's doing the right thing.
I would love to come visit you guys in Pakistan, and I would love to converse with everyone in person and not over a screen. So thank you guys for the time, and thank you for the offer. And I really do hope to see you all soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Megan. And it's a great you have
Thank you
done
so much,
give
Megan.
us, and that will be great. And hopefully, we will see you in another Baker Ultra. You will make the 100 yards.
Yes, I hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Goodbye.